Good day, everyone. I'm Kristel Ilagan, taking Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management in Batangas State University. I prepared a presentation about eliminating risk and hazard in hospitality industry. The goal of this video is to show information and proper procedures that could help the stakeholders of the establishments in the industry. So, let's get started. Risk assessment is vital in identifying hazards and minimizing the risk posed to your workers, visitors, and business, as well as complying with the law. It will help you focus on the workplace risks that really matter. In other words, the ones with the potential to cause real harm. Every workplace has hazards. As an employer, you have a legal responsibility to look after your employees' safety and protect them against health and safety hazards at work. But first, what is risk and hazard? Risk and hazards has differences. Risk is how great the chance that someone will be harmed by the hazard, while hazard is anything that can cause harm. The example of risk and hazards are the following. First is water. Water is an example of hazard. This will be just a risk if someone jumps in the water without knowing how to swim. Second is gasoline. Gasoline is an example of hazard as well. This will be just a risk if someone light a match on this. Third is driving. Driving is an example of hazard. This will be just a risk if the driver is texting while driving. What are the main hazards in workplaces? What are slip, trips, and falls? Slip, trips, and falls are defined as falling on the same level due to these situations. Slip, loss of balance when there is too little friction between the foot and the floor. Example is stepping on a wet or oily surface. Trip, loss of balance when the foot collides with, strikes or hit an object in its path, or loss of balance when one steps down unexpectedly to a lower surface. And fall, downward movement, typically rapidly and freely, from a higher to a lower level. What is lifting and manual handling? Manual handling refers to any activity requiring the use of force by a person to lift, lower, push, pull, hold, or restrain something. Manual handling injuries include strains and sprains. What is contact with hot surface? Other heat injuries such as burns may occur as a result of contact with hot surfaces. What is cut? Potential injuries from shear or cutting point hazards include amputation, lacerations, contusions, crushing of tissue, and broken bones. Hazards can be physical hazards, ergonomic hazards, chemical hazards, and biological hazards. Physical hazards. Physical hazards affect workers in extreme weather conditions or harmful working environments. Workers who are exposed outside in the sun for a prolonged period of time can suffer physical hazards which can cause long-term effects to their health. Ergonomic hazards. Ergonomic safety hazards occur when the type of work, Body positions and working conditions put a strain on your body. They are the hardest to spot since you don't always immediately notice the strain on your body or the harm that these hazards pose. Chemical hazards. Chemical hazards are present when a worker is exposed to any chemical preparation in the workplace in any form, solid, liquid, or gas. Some are safer than others, but to some workers who are more sensitive to chemicals, even common solutions can cause illness, skin irritation, or breathing problems. And biological hazards. Biological hazards exposure to harm or disease from working with animals, people, or infectious plant materials. Workplaces with this kind of safety hazards include, but are not limited to, work in schools, daycare facilities, colleges and universities, hospital, laboratories, emergency and nursing homes, or various outdoor occupations. How to minimize risk. Most workplace and injuries and illnesses can be prevented if workplace hazards are identified and the risk from them removed or minimized. Ways to minimize risk includes developing and implementing safe systems of work, making sure workers follow the safe ways of working and use appropriate personal protective equipment. Regular safety inspections to help to identify hazards so that you can assess and control any risks. Periodically observing what workers are doing on the job and assessing any risk resulting from their acts. And holding regular monthly meetings with workers to discuss health and safety matters.